Hello everyone, I'm Alex Moxon with Racine County Weather. Today is day 5 of Wisconsin's Tornado and Severe Weather Awareness Week. The topics we are covering today are heat waves and the U.S. severe weather fatality statistics. Starting off with heat waves and their impacts. Heat waves have caused hundreds of deaths each year across the United States, and in Wisconsin, an average of 5 deaths have been recorded each year. In the summer of 1980, over 1,200 people across the country have died due to heat, and in Chicago alone in 1955, over 700 people died due to the heat. Heat exhaustion and heat stroke can result from prolonged exposure to heat and humidity, which can lead to injury and or death. And heat index values have been derived because of these factors, the heat and the humidity, to give us a good idea on the crucial times are to take extra caution due to the heat. Because even if the temperatures are relatively low, and by relatively low I mean 90 degrees, if the humidity is very high, that's going to be worse than if the temperature was, say, 105 degrees and the humidity was relatively low. So that's why the heat index value has been derived. Now, taking a look at an advisory versus a warning for our area. The National Weather Service will issue two different products as opposed to the watch versus warning that you've probably heard throughout these videos. This will be an advisory versus warning, the heat advisory or the excessive heat warning. Both are issued by the National Weather Service probably about a day or two in most cases in advance of the heat affecting our area. And this is issued typically for whole counties, not typically, always for whole counties, and for many counties at once. Heat advisory is issued when daytime heat index values are expected to be in the 100 to 104 degree range, and this may also be issued if for 4 consecutive days or more the heat index values will be in the 95 to 99 degree range. So if it's just a little shy of the heat advisory criteria, but it's happening for 4 or more days, then we will have a heat advisory. An excessive heat warning, that's a step above that. That'll be issued when daytime heat index values of 105 degrees or greater and nighttime heat index values of 75 or greater are occurring for 48 consecutive hours or more. So it has to be at night it has to be above 75, and during the day it has to be above 105, and that has to happen for 2 days. This could also be issued if the heat advisory criteria, the 100 to 104 degree range, if that is going on for 4 or more consecutive days, then an excessive heat warning will be issued. Basically, in a heat advisory, that's when you really want to start taking caution, but in an excessive heat warning, that's when you really need to be limiting your activity outdoors, making sure you're staying well hydrated and everything. And here, look at that. Here's your heat safety information. During the peak heating times of the day, which is typically between about noon and 3 p.m., that's when you really want to slow down and reduce your outdoor activity. Stay in the shade, stay cool, go in a pool or something, sprinkler, whatever. You also want to be wearing lightweight and light colored clothing. Don't be walking outside wearing a black shirt. We've all done that before, and it's not fun. It's kind of like if you're one of the few that hasn't experienced this, it's like if you walk on a blacktop pavement versus a concrete pavement. A blacktop pavement is going to be a lot hotter on your feet than normal concrete would be. So that's why you want to be wearing the lighter clothing, the light colored clothing. It does not absorb as many heat rays, or as much of the heat, rather. Too much sun is also going to keep your skin from cooling off, so you do want to go in the shade from time to time if you can. Also, be sure to be drinking plenty of water and avoid caffeinated and alcoholic beverages, because those will only slow you down and make the effects of heat worse on you. Be sure to stay in air-conditioned buildings or go into a building with AC if your house doesn't have AC. Racine will typically set up cooling shelters. They'll be setting up cooling shelters during the peak heating times of the season, and also like Racine Public Library or a grocery store will probably have air conditioning as well. If you cannot get to an air conditioned building though, stay on the lowest floor of the building, as that will typically be the coolest floor of your home. And just be sure to turn on fans, open windows, anything you need to do to stay cool. It's also a time where you do want to be checking on your neighbors, especially if you have elderly neighbors or those that don't live in an air-conditioned home. You should be checking on them, making sure they're doing okay, making sure they're keeping hydrated during the particularly warm times of the summer. Those who are most affected would be the elderly as well as young children, so you do want to keep an eye on both of them, especially during this time. So now for the second topic that we have, U.S. severe weather fatality statistics. I don't have any big graphs or anything. All the big graphs that you could want to see, or the charts or whatever, that can be found on the URL below, weather.gov/mkx/ all that long URL. You can go check that out there if you would like. I did not post all that because I did not want to read all that to you. Here's what I have to say, and this is the last topic of the Tornado and Severe Weather Awareness Week videos. So what I have to say pretty much to round all this up is, while Wisconsin is not necessarily known for its severe weather events during the summer, we're certainly known for during the winter, but while they're not necessarily known for during the summer, they do happen, and they have been known to kill people before. They have been fatal in cases before. So we are not immune from the severe weather events here by any means. We certainly do see our share of it. While we're not like seeing Oklahoma tornadoes or anything like that, we have had EF5 tornadoes here in the past. We have had EF4s. We have had extreme wind events, extreme hail. All that has impacted us, and definitely we've also had extreme heat and flash flooding. So you really do need to be taking those safety precautions. Don't think you are out of the woods because you are in Wisconsin. You are not safe from severe weather here necessarily. To ensure that you are safe, please be sure you take those safety precautions that I have given you or that you find from other sources. Be sure you take those safety precautions whenever severe weather is affecting us, and be sure to be keeping up on those safety precautions as these events approach us. Lastly, I just wanted to take this time to thank you for listening and following my Tornado and Severe Weather Awareness Week videos. I hope these have been helpful in helping you prepare for severe weather season across the state of Wisconsin. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. I would be more than happy to help you prepare for severe weather season. And if you also would like to review on any of these severe weather safety information, please, I encourage you to look back onto any of these videos. They will be available on YouTube at any time. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Alex Moxon, and stay safe during this severe weather season.